This is the dramatic moment. A plane hijacker was arrested by Russian police after he demanded a flight from Siberia to Moscow be diverted to Afghanistan. The suspect threatened crew and ordered them to change course shortly after the Aeroflot plane, carrying 76 people, took off from the Siberian city of Surgut. Instead, the pilot landed in the city of Khanty-Mansiysk, about 150 miles west of Surgut, before police dragged the man off the plane in front of shocked passengers. Officials said the man was drunk, claimed to have a weapon, and had tried to break into the cockpit during the flight.Snipers descended on the runway when the plane landed, and footage from inside the cabin shows armed officers with balaclavas leading the man off the Boeing 737. Passengers broke out into applause when the man was taken away. The captain is heard demanding passengers take their seats as the officers, Russian National Guards under the direct control of President Vladimir Putin, dealt with the suspect. The National Guard officers wore airport security uniforms in a bid to fool the hijacker, said a report. The aim was that he did not understand the plane was being stormed. An announcement is heard on the video saying in Russian and English, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking, take your seats immediately." Immediately, officers are seen dealing with the hijacker, who appears to be on the floor in the plane aisle. Passengers remained calm throughout. Police are believed to have confiscated his gun and checked his belongings before taking him off the aircraft. There are no reports of injuries to passengers. The airport was reported to be partially evacuated, and the jet was stood on the runway in Khanty-Mansiysk for more than an hour before law enforcement officials went on board. The alleged hijacker was in seat 14A. The circumstances surrounding the incident remained unclear, but it is understood the man had made demands for the plane to divert to Afghanistan. Sources say cabin crew on flight Su-1515 were able to convince the man that the plane needed to touch down to refuel.Te, and police teams were dispatched to the airport. Local news sites claim that the suspect may be mentally unstable and that he had been detained for drunken behaviour in the past. The Russian Investigative Committee launched a criminal case into the episode.Spokeswoman Svetlana Petrenko said initial information was that the man was intoxicated, threatening that he has a weapon. She said during the flight tried to break into the cockpit and demanded to change the course of the aircraft. The aircraft commander decided to make an emergency landing in Khanty-Mansiysk. A man was detained. He turned out to be a resident of Surgut, who had previously been convicted of damage to property. A reinforced investigative team is working at the scene of the incident. The necessary investigative actions are taken to establish all the circumstances of the incident. Aeroflot said no one was hurt in Tuesday's incident. We suggest you talk to the Russian National Anti-Terrorism Committee, the airline representative said. The committee soon afterwards confirmed the man had been detained. The crew managed to persuade the passenger to agree to refueling in Khanty-Mansiysk, said a source. Footage from TV 360 showed the plane landing in the city. The man's motive was not immediately clear. The flight from Surgut departed 2:55 p.m. local time and washed been due to land at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport at 4:20 p.m. Moscow time. It comes days after tourists on a crowded holiday jet heading for Russia neutralized a drunk passenger by tying him up with sticky tape and belts. They acted after the crew were unable to subdue the man, and the pilot made it clear he was ready to make an emergency landing to hand the hooligan over to police in China or Mongolia. The passenger, aged 26 and reportedly recently released from prison in Thailand, swore and attacked travelers seated near him on the A320 flight from Bangkok.